Hello, everyone, and welcome to this second webinar in our series of short demos of the various characteristics of Vastari exhibitions. My name is Liviu. I'm the Touring Exhibitions Manager for Vastari, and today I'll be walking you through the simple process of requesting a touring exhibition if you're a museum professional working for a venue looking for such an exhibition. Before I jump into it, to those of you who are not familiar with what we do, Vastari is a touring exhibitions platform, giving museum professionals a tool which allows them to find and rent out available shows from a wide portfolio of exhibition vendors, or to team up with fellow museums on proposed touring projects. Vendors, so those who upload the exhibitions onto our platform, which functions as a marketplace, if you will, can be fellow museums, they can be private companies or private individuals. Vastari Exhibitions is a free service for museum hosts. It's free if you work for an accredited museum and if you sign up with your institutional email. And it's accessible via an easy online registration process. Users have the ability to search and apply for existing shows or to submit requests for a particular exhibition topic. These requests are then viewable by our vendors, who are able to respond to them, applying with their exhibition in real time on the platform and straight in your inbox. Without further ado, I'm going to walk you through the really simple process of doing that. We're going to start with the obvious, which is registration. You have to go to v10.vastari.com. If you don't have an account with us, it's going to take you about 30 seconds to 1 minute to sign up. We're going to put the name here. You start here. You're going to have to use your institutional email address because this is a professional tool. So we're going to click Get Started. It's going to take you to a really simple page where you'll be able to fill in the information required for this. So we'll put a username, we'll put test12, password. Next page. In the next page, we have the ability to put in the full address. So it can be London, let's say United Kingdom, postcodes, a phone number, which allows you to be contacted by us at the end of this registration process. It should be your professional phone number. It can be, if you have a phone number which is a mobile number, a work mobile number, it can be that. You have to put in the area of interest, roughly what you're specialized in as a museum. So for instance, if you're, we're going to put other there, or it could be fine art, it could be many things at the same time. Click Next, and then you're going to be able to introduce more information about the institution that you work for. So it's a museum, it's Science Museum, museum.com. The full address is the one that we've just put in, Hest Street in London, SW8 2NP. I'm going to put in a random phone number there just to get through this. There you go. You're going to be asked a few questions about the particularities of your exhibition space. So how many exhibitions per year do you plan? You can put in 4, for instance. Do you plan to use or have already used traveling exhibitions? The answer is going to be yes. Does your institution borrow objects for exhibitions? If you create artifact-based exhibitions, this could be a really useful thing to mention, because we do have proposals of objects that can come your way as a result of it, saving your curator's time. So we're going to guess on that. What system for curatorial search do you currently use? You can introduce that. I'm going to leave that free for now. And do you require a tutorial on how to use Vastari for your institution? If you feel that the current video is insufficient with the information that is online, you can have one of us call you and walk you through the entire process. I'm going to put yes there, just in case. And then submit everything. At this point, your application has gone through. Now, because this is a professional tool, we want to make sure that everybody that signs up is an institution which is an accredited one, and you work for such an institution to access our databases. So we are going to make sure of that by calling you to figure out whether you are who you are, just to validate the account, so to speak. You'll have one of our team members, who will probably be Christina, our community manager, validating that. And once we approve the account, you'll be able to access your online profile on Vastari Exhibitions. So let's get to it. We're going to go to login from here. I already have a sample museum account set up for the purposes of this demo, so we're just going to click on it. And we have logged into the platform. You're going to be presented with a really simple dashboard. If this is your first time here, I've done a webinar previously on just walking you through the basic layout. If you're uploading an exhibition, you can request demo credentials from us. You'll have some at the end of this video, or just look at the other one to see how it's structured. You can log in with them and kind of see your way before you actually apply for an account, if you feel that is necessary. But you'll be able to see precisely what actions you can do with your account. So if you're a hosting venue, you're going to look for an exhibition. You're going to click on that. You're going to go to search for exhibitions, and you're going to have the full portfolio of exhibitions available to you, searchable via a search engine. We currently have 279 exhibitions available. There might be something that is for you. This tutorial is to show you how to request one that is not here. So if you're a science museum, for instance, and you're looking for certain exhibitions, you're going to see the current portfolio, and you're going to deem, after browsing, that they are not for you. So you're going to think, maybe I can submit a request. I have a venue. I know exactly what the program is. I know exactly when I need this, and I know how much money I have available for this. So without further ado, you're going to go to request, exhibition, and it's going to send you to a page which is a simple form where you can submit the information for your exhibition request. Now, most museums, they plan well ahead. They plan a year in advance. They plan 2 years in advance sometimes, sometimes even more. So the first thing is, when are you planning to host the exhibition? You're going to be able to introduce the month, let's say April of 2019. And let's say the exhibition runs for a typical period of 3 months. So it's going to probably end sometime in July of the same year. Spring exhibition. You're going to be asked, where are you planning to host this exhibition? So let's say, for the purpose of this demo, that it's in the United States. The city in which you are based is also very important. This is so that vendors that see this request on the platform, the ones that have the specific content that you need for your program, will be able to ascertain how far away their exhibition is from your city and calculate costs related to transportation and such, if the exhibition is already on a tour. It's not necessary, it's not obligatory, but we do suggest that you put in as much information as you can at this point, so that vendors have a clear idea of what they can offer. So we're going to put the city of Chicago here. We're going to continue on to the next step. And this is going to be a question that will try to ascertain what type of exhibition you need. Now, let's say because you're a science museum, you're going to need science, but some science museums also deal with other things. They like interdisciplinary projects, they love children exhibitions. Um, Let's say you're a natural history museum, you're going to naturally want natural history or paleontology. So you can select multiple options here if you're interested in different types of exhibitions. If you have a more narrow focus, say you're looking for an exhibition which is on climate change, so that fits within science and it might also fit within children's as well if you want it family friendly. So you can narrow that down to specifically the field that you need. Continue to the next step where you're going to be asked the venue space requirements. So roughly telling vendors how large your venue is, how much space you have for this exhibition. Now, if you are flexible, you can select multiple sizes here in terms of surface area. So we're going to go for a medium to fairly large exhibition. And we're going to say that this is roughly the space that we need. It can be adjusted. Sometimes vendors might be flexible with the content. More and more vendors are becoming aware of the fact that they need to create exhibitions that are suitable for different venue sizes. So they create exhibitions that are modular. People in the science world know this very well, and it's something that is working very well. If it's a more conventional exhibition with displays on a wall, you might need linear meters as a requirement. So you can put that in here. I'm going to skip that for now, but you can add the amount that you need there. This is particularly useful for, say, an art exhibition where you require a lot of wall space that is linear. We're going to continue, and then you're going to be asked roughly a budget for this. Now, most museums that we speak to, they are pretty comfortable with giving us an exact budget, but some museums would like to keep that figure flexible. People sometimes don't consider that, the price is the main starting point for an exhibition because exhibitions of different sizes, of different content, with different appeals, you can spend a little bit more money on that if it's the right thing for your venue. So they like to keep this price range flexible. For that, we created some brackets. So because it's a fairly large exhibition, we're going to put in $100,000 to $350,000 for this, and we're going to this. So this is the rental fee that you should specify for the period that you've entered. All other costs, insurance, logistics, will be discussed with the vendor that decides to apply for it. At this point, this is sufficient for what we currently have. We're going to continue, and here you have optional further details. Now, because you want to specify that it is a climate exhibition, you're going to write that down. You're going to also write down that you want it to be extremely interactive, theme-based, children-friendly. And ideally, you might want to say that you have, you might have, for instance, a certain limitation with your space. So we've encountered, for instance, wall height as a very common limitation with certain museums. Their venues just can't accommodate things that are taller than a certain amount of feet or meters. So we can say 4 meters ceiling height maximum. Right. So you can put in all sorts of information here. If you have other things that either limit or open up the space of possible exhibitions that can be submitted for this request, you can write that down in this field. We're going to continue at this point once you're ready with this, and you're going to have a really simple summary of what you've currently entered. So from April 2019 to July 2019 in Chicago, United States of America, our museum is looking for science and children's themed exhibitions. If we're going to click more info, you'll be able to see the hiring fee, the space required, which is medium to large size exhibition. Further details, a climate exhibition has to be extremely interactive, theme-based rather than artifact-based, more conceptual, children-friendly, and there's a certain limitation there that vendors need to be aware of. If you're ready, if you're happy with this, click on Create Requests. it automatically creates the request. You'll be able to see it clicking on My Requests, or alternatively, show you a bit. So this is where the exhibition request has been posted. It's pending. It's going to be approved by us in due time. You will be able to find this status here. So here it says pending. It's going to be reviewed by our team, and you'll be able to see it once it's live on the platform here by scrolling down to recent exhibition requests. You'll have different themes here, the most recent ones that have been featured. But if you click on more, you'll be able to find your request together with others from other museums around the world. So we have a few here. We are in the process of calling museums and centralizing information about the space required, the money that they have available for an exhibition. You might have received a call from us if you're working at a museum, or you might in the near future. Ideally, we would like to have as much information as possible so that we can propose the right exhibitions for you, or that vendors can see on our platform these exhibition requests and apply for them where necessary, where it's a good fit. They'll be able to see, say it's this one, January 2019 to December 2019 in Sydney, Australia. There's a museum that is looking for a design-based exhibition. You have a hiring fee, the space requirements, and so on and so forth. If the vendor thinks that it has an exhibition that is good for this, they'll be able to click on apply. If they have exhibitions uploaded to the platform, they'll be able to apply with them. This is a demo account that doesn't have any exhibitions live on the platform. So for the purpose of this webinar, we'll just assume that you have one. They'll be able to put a little message here describing the exhibition and give more details or ask questions so that a back and forth can happen between you and the vendor via the platform. And if they hit apply to exhibition request, there will be an application for your request that comes straight on the platform. Nice and easy. And that is pretty much how you request an exhibition on the platform. If you're a museum professional that is currently creating the program for the next 2 years or 3 years, you might be developing exhibitions in-house for that, or you might need a particular project that you can't find on our platform or anywhere else. If you make us aware of that, we will keep an eye out for it through our team and make it available through the platform to our vendors that are going to be able to apply for it and hopefully provide the right content for you. Thank you very much for joining me in this webinar. And if you have any other questions, or if you'd like to demo the platform before signing up, although I don't think it's necessary because it is a free account after all, but you might have your reasons, you can do that via this link by clicking on that and entering those details, or you can just give me a call or drop me an email. And I'll be able to discuss things with you and hopefully guide you through the process. Thank you.